pip, cheerio, and all that rot. How are you today, all of my friends out there in television land? It's so good to be here with you on Let's Talk News. I hope everybody. I have a terrible English accent. Where's Jennifer when you need her? How are you, everyone? Welcome to Let's Talk News. And tonight we're going to be talking about President Trump's visit to the UK, if you couldn't tell by the Tiara. Hope you all had a great day. It's been really interesting. Just before I came on air, I was watching, I don't know how, Spectrum News, Channel 1, and I was in shock because I they were saying that Jimmy Kimmel's firing came because the government got involved. Did I miss something? I heard no such thing, and I don't think that it is true. But then again, I am not surprised that they would be lying, right? Because Kimmel was lying, and that's what got him fired, or at least suspended. The unmitigated gall to say that the government got him fired, and that it's okay for a company to fire somebody for what they don't like them saying, but it's not okay if the government is involved in it. But I'm sorry, wasn't the government involved in not allowing us to talk about J6 or the laptop or COVID vaccine and all that? Wasn't that a direct tie? Biden told the Twitter people to get rid of some tweets and things like that. I think it was. But anyway, I haven't heard that the government told Disney to fire Jimmy Kimmel. Trump said it best today when he said he didn't get fired because of what he said. He got fired because he lacked talent. Hello, Francine. Good to have you here. How are you? Hi. When, Letitia? When what? Help a little bit. And oh yeah, tell me, can you hear me better with this new microphone? I have a new microphone. Let's see if here we go. I was hoping that it would be less tinny and you would be able to hear better. Can we have a moment of silence for Jimmy Kimmel's show? Okay. Moment of silence. I am sorry, I can't. I can't. I mean, I think that what Trump said was spot on. He got fired because his ratings were so low. They said that because Trump said he was glad. Everything is Trump's fault. And by the way, Roseanne Barr for fired by Disney and the Obamas. That's right. That's right. Roseanne Barr was fired from her own show. Hello, Andrew Dorman. Good to have you. I meant to say Queen Letitia. Yeah, don't forget that. Hello, chip, pip, pip, cheerio, and all that rot. I have now. I've come to a state of permanent WTF. Right? I mean, what is going on with the left? I mean, they always had a loose relationship with the truth, but now it seems like they're just so far afield. I just don't know. Blatant liars. I'm glad Kimmel has been shut down. Listen, I find it very interesting that all these Canadians can come over and make fun of our government, and then if we say anything about their government, somehow or another, we're all wrong and we're terrible people and blah 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 blah. They are scrambling. Yeah, they are. They're scrambling because they have nothing. I'm so sad that we're not talking about this, but did you all see Rashida Tlaib today I think it was today in Congress, losing her mind? I posted it on my Facebook page because I didn't have enough time. Well, we were going to talk about the UK. So, and we're one subject a night. That's the new plan here so that I could, do the show every night. But take a look at my Facebook page. She lost her freaking mind. It's like the second time now. She was talking to, I think it was an FBI agent, and she called him a member of the Third Reich, and he was a black man, and he lost his mind, and she lost her mind. It was beyond. So, after the show, go over there and go check it out. Why wasn't Jimmy Kimmel's show taken off the air years ago for wearing blackface? Karl Malone and Oprah, Megyn Kelly and Roseanne were fired for far less. You're absolutely right. I mean, because it's pick and choose. It's what I find offensive, not what everybody finds offensive, right? We talked about this with free speech 2 days ago. Look, I think everybody has a right to say anything they want to say. But if you're a private company, you have a right to defend your brand. And this ridiculous pulling it out of thin air that because Trump commented on it, that somehow Trump directed it. It's kind of like that. What do they say? When you are so suspicious that somebody's screwing you, it's usually because you screw over so many people, right? So it's something that you would be suspicious of because you do it. It's one thing to joke, but another thing to blatantly lie. Bye, Jimmy. Yeah, well, they're talking about bringing him back. They want him to donate a whole bunch of money to Turning Point or to the family. I don't remember why. And then they'll think about now he wasn't fired; he was suspended. They're saying. If they want to lose money, let them bring him back. Who cares? I don't care. I don't watch him. I am never offended by what somebody says about me, about, what my beliefs. I don't care. I know who I am and I'm comfortable in my skin. And because somebody decides, or a bunch of somebody's, and you all know that, right? Because you went through the whole, Hitler thing with me, right? So I know who I am and I know what's in here, and a whole bunch of people can come out and lie and point fingers, and I don't care what they say. I tune them out and turn them off. She lost her mind because Trump is bombing the boats full of drugs. She's in withdrawal. You're probably right about that. Jimmy Kimmel made fun of Tucker when he got fired. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. And Tucker went on to have a fruitful career, right, with his show. I mean, he's doing better now than he ever was on Fox. And good for him because, he was righteous and he was on the side of right. I never watched him once. Kimmel, me either. I mean, it was a funny thing how ABC always, takes clips and they do promos for. Remember that Samantha Bee person that used to be? Oh my gosh, I can't remember if it was Pix 11, but they spent millions promoting her. She was from Canada too, and she never brought in any money, but. It's this ideology, and we're seeing it, right? We're seeing it now more than ever that our news media is owned by an entity that is not us and that is not America loving. It's actually anti-American, and it's doing so much to, to hurt America. Holy moly, Donna Fagan, how are you, darling? Good to see you. And Kim Salvo, it's like a blast from the past. Good to see you both. Thank you so much for joining us. So, all right, talk to me. Who saw Trump in the UK? What did you watch? Did you watch the speeches? Did you watch Today with Starmer? Did you watch with the King? Did you see when they were playing the YMCA song for Trump while the jets flew overhead with streamers of red, white, and blue? Did you all see that? Did you see that they are treating him as if he's royalty? Even if he donates or apologizes, it's over for him, and his audience won't like that he's so-called caped. I agree with that. I think that there's checkmate going on right here. Yeah, she was so annoying in the commercials. Never watched Samantha Bee either. Yeah, me either. But how much money did they put behind her, right? But Roseanne Barr, she didn't even say anything wrong. I mean, she was just a Trump supporter. And they fired her from her own show, and they kept that show going by pumping money into it. It wasn't making any money. They kept that show going by pumping money into it. But like I said, it's an anti-American. These news stations are so anti-American. Love the Jets and the YMCA. I thought that was great. And could you imagine? Remember the first time Trump was there? We had to hear how he was disrespectful and he was a cat and a mess and this and that and England hated him and yada yada yada. And then Poopy Pants went over talking to the guard while keeping King Charles waiting for him to join him. So inappropriate. And then now President Trump and Melania go a second time, and now they're not in Buckingham, they're in Windsor Castle, which is the royal family's home. And the dinner is amazing. And the king pulls out all the stops for him. And Kate, as I understand it, the prince and Kate, what's his name? His name is not Harry. It's not Charles. Oh my gosh, why can't I remember his name? The future king. They loved him. They absolutely loved him, and they loved Melania, and they treated them like gold. So, what a difference 4 years makes, huh? All right, hold on a second. Where did I leave off here? That was such a good procession. It was fantastic. I thought they treated our president loyally, but the only disagreement was on Palestine. Yeah, well, but did you see Pete asked from Fox asked him why he was waiting till after Trump left to talk about acknowledging Palestine as a state, and Starmer, stuttered and stammered. Treat him like royalty. I meant, yes, I understand. Hello, Kevin Young. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I mean, Starmer didn't get away with much today. I didn't see the Jets and YMCA, but I love the Star Spangled Banner. It was such a show of respect. Biden never got that. Now, Biden wouldn't have known if he got that. He wouldn't have remembered. All I saw was Trump saying he disagreed with Starmer over a Palestinian nation, and Trump saying that Europe needs to stop buying Russian oil. Yes, he said all those things. Okay, well, good. Then we have some clips. William, thank you. Angela, as always, you are still my second brain. Thank God for you, man. Can I just keep you on the phone all the time, because I'm constantly looking for words and names. It was beautiful to watch today. I missed the YMCA thing. I'll try and find it. Maybe when I'm showing a clip, maybe I can get it done. I don't know if I can, but I'll try. Melania drove the internet nuts with her exposed shoulder. Yeah. But she's still wearing the assassin's costume. I love it. She donned that assassin costume, that I don't mess with my husband costume, that don't mess with me costume, for the inauguration, and she has found different variations ever since. I mean, those hats with the big brims, with their eyes covered, all buttoned up. She's amazing. I love her for fashion, and the Brits love her for fashion too. Hey, you're going to bring up Kamala blaming blacks, gays, and women for her losing? Well, you just did. Listen, the thing we know about Kamala is that she can't take responsibility for anything. Remember? Oh, I'm the border czar. No, I'm not the border czar. What are you talking about? I mean, 25th Amendment. She's calling on people, saying that Trump was losing his mind. Meanwhile, Poopy Pants was in the White House now. Well, Trump today was amazing, where he spoke about the 2020 election. Somebody asked him a question about the auto pen, and he talked about how Congress found out that the one of the guys that was signing all the legislation with the auto pen was taking orders from someone else and had only met Biden once and never spoke about the auto pen. Stuff is coming out. Hold on a second. It was very impressive. I wonder what the New York City class anti-horse carriage people are saying about that presentation. Well, you know what? Isn't it interesting? Because, they've been using horses in England forever, and they treat them so very well, especially the royal horses. So I don't know. All right. So since many of you didn't see a lot of things, let's start with King Charles, his toast last night to President Trump. Here we go.
Mr. President, Mrs. Trump, it is with great pleasure that my wife and I welcome you to Windsor Castle on this, your second state visit to the United Kingdom. This unique and important occasion reflects the enduring bond between our two great nations, anchored by the deep friendship between our people. This relationship, which, with good reason, we and our predecessors have long called special, has made us safer and stronger through the generations. Our people have fought and died together for the values we hold dear. We have innovated, traded, and created together, fueling our economies and cultures through myriad forms of exchange. We have celebrated together, mourned together, and stood together in the best and worst of times. Mr. President, as we approach the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence next year, it is remarkable to think just how far we have come. I cannot help but wonder what our forebears from 1776 would make of this friendship today. The rebel commander and pioneering First President George Washington famously vowed never to set foot on British soil. And my 5 times great-grandfather, King George III, for his part, did not spare his words when he spoke of the revolutionary leaders. Today, however, we celebrate a relationship between our two countries that surely neither Washington nor King George III could possibly have imagined. The ocean may still divide us, but in so many other ways, we are now the closest of kin. Mr. President, you have spoken of your pride in your British roots. In fact, not only have you set foot on British soil twice in the last 2 months alone, but I understand that British soil makes for rather splendid golf courses. Now, for my part, I have always admired the ingenuity of the American people and the principles of freedom which your great democracy has represented since its inception. Throughout my life, from the very first visit to the United States in 1970, and over 20 visits since that time, I have cherished the close ties between the British and American peoples. In fact, had the media succeeded in the 1970s in their own attempt at deepening the special relationship, I myself might have been married off within the Nixon family.
Okay, I found the clip, and I'm going to be able to upload it. So just give me a second here as I record it. So it is really, really cool, and we have the flyover too. So I'll be able to get that up in a minute. Okay, so let's talk about Charles. Let's talk about his conversation. Let's talk about that toast and the fact that he admitted that he almost got married to a Nixon. I guess it was Trish. I thought it was much older than that, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Let's see. Oh crap. I have the microphone is now plugged in to my where my mouse usually goes. Okay. It was let's see. I feel Kamala picking Pete Buttigieg as a running mate would have made her win because that's where the party was at that point. But instead she picked a feminine hygiene product. I don't think anybody was voting for Buttigieg. I don't think the outcome would have been different no matter who her running mate was. She sucked. People knew she sucked. People knew she was the border czar, and she didn't czar the border. And they were pissed off at what they were doing to Trump. Plain and simple. Okay, let's see. Exactly. Class and style. Yeah, she was. She was the epitome of class and style. All right. So Charles, and I think he was right. I mean, if our founding fathers knew what our relationship was now with England, I think that they would have been really, really shocked. But All right, let's hear Trump's speech. Okay, where are we? Here we are, and here we
Your
go.
Majesty, Melania and I are deeply grateful to you and Queen Camilla for your extraordinary graciousness. And to William and Kate, thank you so much. It's been so great being with you today. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. This is truly one of the highest honors of my life. Such respect for you and such respect for your country. For many decades, His Majesty the King has epitomized the fortitude, nobility, and the spirit of the British monarchy and the British people. I'll tell you that I just stood in line and shook about 150 hands, and the King knew every single person and every single company, and some of them had bad names like XYZ-Q3, and he knew every one of them, or at least I think he did, because nobody was complaining. I was very impressed with that. But I just want to say that His Majesty has also raised a remarkable son in His Royal Highness, Prince of Wales. Really amazing. We've gotten to know you, and I think you're going to have an unbelievable success in the future. Melania and I are delighted to visit again with Prince William and to see Her Royal Highness, Princess Catherine, so radiant and so healthy, so beautiful. It's really a great honor. Thank you. The British Empire laid the foundations of law, liberty, free speech, and individual rights virtually everywhere the Union Jack has ever flown, including a place called America. You know that place very well, don't you? His Majesty spoke eloquently about the bond which inspired Sir Winston Churchill, and the bust is in the Oval Office right now, the beautiful bust of Winston Churchill, to coin the phrase special relationship. But seen from American eyes, the word special does not begin to do it justice. We're joined by history and fate, and by love and language, and by transcendent ties of culture, tradition, ancestry, and destiny. We're like two notes in one chord, or two verses of the same poem, each beautiful on its own, but really meant to be played together. The bond of kinship and identity between America and the United Kingdom is priceless and eternal. It's irreplaceable and unbreakable, and we are, as a country, as you know, doing unbelievably well. We had a very sick country 1 year ago, and today, I believe we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. In fact, nobody's even questioning it, but we owe so much of that to you and the footing that you gave us when we started. Together, we've done more good for humanity than any two countries in all of history. Together, we must defend the exceptional heritage that makes us who we are, and we must continue to stand for the values and the people of the English-speaking world. And
Okay, I thought that was great. Together, we have to stand for the values of the people of the English-speaking world. That was a little bit of a dig to what was happening over in England right now, in London more specifically. That's why the mayor did not look very happy. Trump had such a commanding presence, and Melania is the epitome of class. It's the epitome, not epitome of class. Yeah, absolutely. I'm so proud of our president, first lady, two class acts. Yeah, big difference this time out than the last time, huh? I mean, it was interesting. I agree. I love the formal attire. There's something about the pomp and ceremony, right, of the royals. I mean, that's why Downton Abbey, was such a hit. That's why we hang on every word. It's they are our they're our cousins. We came from there, and I think that so many of us still feel connected there. It was a wonderful speech. It was a good speech. Both of them were really, really good speeches. King Charles went on for about, I don't know, about 10 minutes, and Trump did 7, I think. So they were both good speeches, and I think that the one thing that everybody's clamoring about is that Trump did not mention Harry. if you recall, he said, "You raised a great son." And he didn't, he didn't say sons, he said son. But I also understand that Melania and Kate hit it off very, very well. And I don't think that the Queen liked that very much. Yeah, she's just a jealous one. That Queen, that old biddy is so jealous. She looks at these women, and I don't know. And it's unfortunate, right? Because she could really be beloved, but she won't ever be beloved. And maybe it's the name Camilla, right? Maybe something in the name that's got it all wrong. All right, here's the Starmer press conference. I thought that was the Starmer one was pretty good. Here we go.
Having been in DC for a few weeks, it's really interesting to see how you run the country as a proud Christian leader. And it really begs the question to the Prime Minister, if you don't mind, are we still a Christian country? But also...
when you say we, are you talking here or?
Here. The
here?
UK. I'm still British. I might live in America. I'm still British. But also...
I can't give you that answer.
That's for the Prime Minister. But also... despite what we talked about in Scotland a few weeks ago, we still have 12,000 people a year here being arrested for social media posts, for free speech violations. Does that not remain an important area that there is still a lot of disagreement on?
I'd like to have you answer that.
Yeah, look, I mean, in terms of a Christian country, I was christened, so that is, my church has been all my life, and we are, that is wired into our informal constitution. Of course, we celebrate many other faiths as well, and I'm really proud that we're able to do so as a country. And on free speech, that has long lived in this country, free speech. It's one of the founding values of the United Kingdom, and we protect it jealously and fiercely, and always will, and we will bear down on any limits on free speech. I draw a limit between free speech and the speech of those that want to peddle paedophilia and suicide social media to children, and therefore I'm all for free speech. I'm also for protecting children.
On a separate issue, free speech, your Vice President Vance said that free speech is under attack in the UK. Do you agree with him? And Prime Minister, we saw the dismissal of a very well-known chat show host in America last night, Mr. Kimmel. Is free speech more under attack in Britain or America?
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent.
No matter how many times I hear it, I crack up every single time. He was fired for lack of talent. I love it. Back to Harry. I caught that. We all know Harry is an embarrassment all around. That's true. Let's see what else. I did get that clip uploaded. It's going to be ugly, but I'll play it for you. I love the pomp and circumstance, the extravagance. Also, the world has lost this somehow. No one gets dressed nicely anymore. Well, I don't know if you all know that Donald Trump is, he's doing like a weekly cocktail reception in the Rose Garden for both the Democrats and the Republicans, kind of like an open bar kind of, cocktail hour. And he's hoping to get conversations going between both sides. I don't know if it's working or not. I don't know if the Democrats are coming, but that I think he started out last week or a week before. Everyone loved Diana, so Camilla will never be Diana. Diana and Melania and Kate would be styling. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And they're all kind of the same type of person. So you're absolutely right about that. Christian country, freed speech in the UK. I think not. It's the government, Muslim, and people getting arrested for social media posts. Well, that's what they were saying. He was, a lion through his teeth, but he's a socialist. It was interesting. Yes, it's a party mixer. That's right. It was interesting, right? Is that both speeches talked about how they defeated socialism, and the Prime Minister of England is a socialist. Go figure. Okay, we have become far too casual. Yeah, pajamas in school, and oh, please, I can't. Party mixer in the rose garden. That's right. All right, here is the clip. It's only 30 seconds, and I know we're up on time. Can you imagine the royal bands playing the YMCA for the American president? Ladies and gentlemen, I think that was the best ever. All right. Thank you for joining me again. I'm sorry I went over, but you know, who keeps a clock around here? All right, I love you all. I thank you. We're doing pretty good on this nightly thing. So let's keep it up. I mean, I'm not crazy, and you know, it's nice to talk with you about what happens every day. So it's I like this even better. It's kind of fun. Yeah, U.S. I hope they put big security dome around Chris Kirk's wife. Democrats are going to go after her now. Yeah, well, she became the new CEO. So listen, we can't be afraid, right? We can't be afraid. I think that we all need to exercise our 2A, right? And we can't be afraid. We have to keep talking because this is a form of terrorism. What they're doing, the far left, is trying to terrorize us. They're trying to terrorize the Christianity out of us. They're trying to terrorize the family out of us. They're trying to terrorize the marriage out of us. They're trying to terrorize the conservatism out of us. We cannot let them terrorize us. And if Rashida Tlaib was any indication of what's going on in their mind, they're losing their mind. They're screaming and carrying on and throwing tantrums like the children that they are. They are spoiled children and they have no idea what's good for them. So for all of the adults in the room, we know you cannot give a child stuff that is no good for them. Take that crap away from them. Time to end it. Just keep on talking. No fear. I will see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Oh, no, I won't. I'll see you Monday, 8 p.m. Nope, Sunday, 8 p.m. After the Charlie Kirk Memorial. Bye.